All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I'm Is There No One Else? And the video I'm bringing you today, we are going to talk about the Magic Necromancer build I've been running for the Markarth DLC. Now, this build is quite a bit different than other builds I've ran and posted in the past on my channel. This build was basically group theory crafted on my Discord. Long story short, I saw the patch notes. I had an idea. I posted it in the Discord to a few people. They saw it, they kind of ran with it and made their own additions to it, and we just kind of kept bouncing ideas off each other, and this is kind of what we came up with that I enjoy the best. There's a bunch of different ways to go about doing this. There's a bunch of different sets you can do. I'll talk about those options, but I want to give a huge shout out to Jinx. Jinx is a much better necromancer than I am, and a lot of the advice that he gave I actually enjoyed a lot more than the stuff I tested myself, and so I put it on here. And you know, like I said, the Discord is a huge resource even for me. Like, I play every class, you know, but I don't know every build or play style or anything or everything like that, and there's a lot of really good players in there that you can bounce ideas off of. And you know, if it can help somebody like me who's been playing the game for 5 years, it could potentially help you guys. And if it can't, you know, maybe you're the guy that should be giving advice in there too. So I have a link in the description for the Discord if you want to go check that out. But yeah, this build has been bouncing around in there for the last 2 weeks. Different iterations. People have tried it. They've been posting screenshots and everything of their own gameplay. A lot of people have said it's pretty powerful. I agree. Magic and Necromancer has a lot of issues. You know, let's just put it that way. Magic and Necromancer has a lot of issues. You don't have a ton of finishing power. You don't have like a very good offensive. You don't have very good offensive combinations. You know, what they did have that was really good, Harmony, got nerfed quite a bit, which also relied on people piling on top of you, which doesn't always happen in Battlegrounds, so it makes it kind of rough to play. And so we went a completely different route, you know. Magic and Necromancer, or Necromancer in general, has one really nice passive, which is dot passives. You know, they have increased damage over time effects, but the problem is Magic and Necromancer damage over time effects aren't very good. However, you know, there's a bunch of skills outside of the class skill line, as well as new weapons that exist outside of the class skill line that are dots that can make a dot Necromancer very effective. So yeah, that's basically the gist of the build. You know, we are running a dot necromancer that has been very, very effective in BGs. So with that being said, let's dive into the build. As far as consumables go, I'm running bewitched sugar skulls. Now, this is just the best food, in my opinion, for this. You need a lot of tri-stat. You know, in no CP, your recovery is not nearly as good. You need as much bulk, stand for blocking, dodge rolling, CC breaking as possible. Bewitched is the best food for that. I am running tripods, and that's basically it. You can run immovables, but I just like tripods the best. As far as races go, I think Argonian is the best race in no CP right now. With all the dots out there, the extra healing is nice, the extra stam recovery is nice for dodging, breaking free. You know, Argonian is in a pretty good spot. I am a Breton. Breton works just fine. Breton would be my next best choice. Outside of that, you know, after those two, you can go Nord, High Elf, Dark Elf, you know, some combination of those. I think all those would work out pretty well. So yeah, that's the consumables. Let's dive into the gear. The first thing we're running the Black Rose Inferno. Black Rose Inferno is extremely powerful. It's probably, well, from my testing, it is best in slot for Magic and Necromancer for a 2-piece. This is the Wild Impulse set. Reduce the cost of Impulse by 10%. Impulse places lingering elemental damage on your targets, dealing 5907 flame, shock, and frost damage over 8 seconds. So this will tick. I think it's every 2 seconds, and it's some RNG of flame, frost, and shock. You get this much damage. Keep in mind, this also can be scaled by 25% with Markarth. So, very, very powerful set for necromancers. And the other cool part about this skill, or about this set, is the dot will pull Nightblades out of stealth. So if you see a Nightblade off to the side and you cast it on them, that random tick, the dot that you see on the NPCs, will pull them out of stealth because it counts as AoE. So if you're fighting a bunch of Nightblades, I know it's shocking for me to say, but there's a lot of desyncing Nightblades and no CP. This is very, very effective against them, and it is a very powerful dot, which makes it very nice on Magic and Necromancer for that reason. Now, I only have it in normal. You get this in Black Rose Prison. You can do it on vet. I mean, vet will give you the pen. That's the best weapon. I didn't want to do Black Rose Prison on vet until I was sure that I wanted to get this weapon. I want to get this weapon, and so now I want to do it on vet. But you can do it on normal. It takes 20 minutes to farm, you know, get 4 buddies, go in there. It's super easy to do. You don't need a tank, you don't need a healer, you just kill everything on normal, you get the weapon, and you move along with your day. So very, very powerful weapon for that reason. Now the back bar, we are running the new vateshrans Inferno also. So we are running 2 weapons that you get from different dungeons. This is the new vateshrans dungeon. I have the perfected version, which you get on vet. The imperfect version you get on normal. Adds 1190 spell penetration, which is the perfected version, and then just the normal version. Casting weakness to elements on a target within 15 meters view causes a surge of elemental energy to tether between you for 10 seconds. While the tether persists and you remain in range, enemies touching the tether take 35-32 flame, shock damage, or frost damage every 1 second, which increases by 1% each time it deals damage, up to 20%. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. So once again, another dot that we can use on Magic and Necromancer using weakness to elements. So we use Ellie on our back bar, we cast it, we get this cool beam, and it can't be purged. If there's people in between the person we cast, they both take the dot tick. So we have an AoE 10-second dot on a free to cast ability, and we put the frost staff on so we can block on the back bar. Once again, a very, very powerful weapon. They changed how Major Breach works. This weapon is so powerful that there are even stamina-based tunes that are running a frost staff on the back bar. That's how powerful this weapon is. And people are going to be like, really? Why would you run a frost staff on the back bar and a stamp spec? Well, weakness to elements is free. You don't have to use any magic cost abilities in order to use this. You can take off the passive. Sorry, hold on. You can take out Trifocus and make it cost stam. And so it's essentially a sword and board it's not quite as good as sword and board, but it's pretty freaking close. And then you also can just slot Ellie, which, you know, is now physical and spell resistance instead of spell resistance. So very, very nice weapon to have. Like I said, the dot is unpurgeable right now, which doesn't really make any sense to me, but we are where we are. I got a weapon damage enchant on the back bar for that. As far as monster sets, there are multiple options here. I like Vulcan Scoria the best. No CP, procs are king. You know, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You don't need to run, honestly, outside of those 2 staffs, you don't need to run procs on this build. You know, you only need to run 2 procs. But Vulcan Scoria, in my opinion, is the best. I have ran Zon. Zon's really nice for tanky opponents. You know, once you get Zon, if somebody comes in close range, if you have Zon plus the vateshrans dot on them, they're typically dead. It's really nice. The cooldown is a little bit rough. The one piece, the spell crit, really doesn't come in handy, you know, because we're running Markarth with this build. But yeah, it's not bad. Balorg's okay. Engine Guardian's great and no CP because, you know, the line of sight capabilities as well as the resource return. You really don't need a damaged monster set. You can run Malabeth, you could run, like I said, Engine Guardian, you could run Bloodspawn. I've ran them all to great effect. Grotdar is really nice. Bloodspawn, like whatever you want to run for a monster set, you really can run on this build. It really doesn't matter. They're pretty interchangeable. I like Vulcan Scoria the best because the 1435 spell pen applies to our dots. Our proc dots and otherwise, so that comes in really handy. Also, it just gives us a lot of finishing power. You know, Necromancer really lacks in the finishing power department. They don't have an execute. You know, you get a lot of assist typically in Battlegrounds. This allows you to finish opponents. This allows you to put a lot of pressure on opponents. It's a great set. So yeah. Other set, we are running Oblivion's Foe. Now this set got adjusted this last patch because it was extremely powerful last patch, and people are like, oh, they nerfed it, they nerfed it, they nerfed it. They did. It's different, but it's not bad. You know, it went from having one-shot soul assault capabilities to arguably the best proc set in the game for Magicka specs. So let's go into it. 124 weapon and spell damage, 1435 offensive penetration. 2 and 3 piece are quite nice. Crit chance, not great. And then 5 piece 124 weapon and spell damage, which is nice. And then when you deal damage with soul magic, you mark the target soul, dealing 18,435 magic damage over 10 seconds, as long as they are not already marked from you. Now that's on the back bar. I think it gets up to 20,000. This can also scale with Markarth, so 19,425 because I have purple gear. The other cool part about, guys, is when you use Soul Trap, if you use Soul Splitting Trap, and you cast it on multiple people, you get the proc on multiple people. So when you're in Battlegrounds and there's a bunch of people, 4, 5, 6 people scrumming up in the same area, and you cast Soul Splitting Trap on them, you are going to get not only Soul Splitting Trap on everybody, you're going to get Oblivion's Foe on everybody, which is a ton of AoE dot pressure. It is a ton. So you combine that with Wild Impulse and our other dots, and you have a lot of dot pressure coming in for this build that all operates at range. So now, as far as alternatives go, Icy Conjurer is fantastic. You know, Icy Conjurer is great. It coincides well with the vateshrans Frost Staff. You know, you hit weakness to elements. Icy Conjurer procs on one person, and it does more damage. It does more damage than Oblivion's Foe, but the differences are Oblivion's Foe is crafted. You can craft this in heavy, which is what we have. 5 light or 5 heavy, 1 medium, 1 light is the optimal setup. I think I have 6 heavy right now, but this can be crafted in heavy, so we're a little bit tankier. We have a little bit of increased healing, a little bit more stam sustain, which is great for no CP. And on top of that, Soul Trap is undodgeable. And so you can dodge Icy Conjurer. Icy Conjurer is a slow-moving ability, but once you get Soul Trap on somebody, you're getting the Oblivion's Foe proc. And so it's not as much pressure. So like if you were dueling people, you know, or 1v1ing or whatever, Icy Conjurer would be the better set. But Oblivion's Foe is better for Battlegrounds, in my opinion, because of the AoE capabilities. It provides a lot of pressure for that reason. So, yeah, like I said, I have all heavy. I have in sturdy on the small pieces. I have infused on the big pieces, trying to, you know, stack as much max stats as possible. Ideally, you want prismatic everything. Prismatic everything's the best way to go. I only have prismatic big pieces right now because I was testing a bunch of different gear. I didn't want to spend 20k gold per prismatic on all the different gear that I was testing to figure out what was best. So yeah, I am suboptimal right now, but it is still effective. So yeah, 5 heavy Oblivion's Foe on the body. And then the other thing we're running is we're running 2-piece training. We're running a necklace and a ring of training. You know, this is just the best 2-piece you can get for Magicka classes. You know, you get a max health bonus, you get a max Magicka bonus for 2 pieces. So 1 piece is max health, 2-piece max Magicka. I have infused with recovery across the board. And then on top of that, Malakath's Band of Brutality, which buffs all of our dots by another 25%. Now, you don't need this. You know, if you think, you know, oh, I don't have the latest DLC. I can't farm mythics. You know, this build's not going to work for me because I don't have this. Well, I accidentally yesterday was, you know, I was playing my Magicka Necromancer, and then I put my Markarth band in the bank to put on another character. And I played that for a little bit, and then I went back to my Necromancer and I did a couple of BGs. And, you know, after 2 BGs, I'm like, wow, my sustain is really, really rough. And I'm killing people, but my sustain just doesn't feel right. Come to find out, I didn't take the Markarth band out of the bank and put it on my character, so I was missing this bonus. I was missing the recovery, and I was missing the 25% damage. I still put out over 1 million damage. I was still getting good kills. I missed the recovery more than anything. So if you don't have Malakath's Band of Brutality, you know, you can just put on another piece trainee. You can go 3-piece trainee here, or you can do 3-piece willpower. You can go 3-piece potentates. You can there's a lot of different things you can do. If you decide not to go vampire, you can go 3-piece endurance here for a little bit of health recovery. A lot of options. Malakath is best for this build, obviously, because we're running procs. But if you don't have Markarth, it doesn't make or break the build. You know, Necromancer has a dot passive. You're running a ton of already effective dots. You don't need Markarth. Trust me, you do not need Markarth to make this effective. So yeah, we got crafted. We have Scoria. And then you can get these in the normal dungeons. It's pretty easy to acquire stuff. So as far as the character sheet goes, nothing special. 64 points in a Magicka. We have 23.7 health, 32k max Magicka and a CP, 16.6 stamina, and 1994 Magicka recovery after a pot. And with our Mender up, I think we're at like 2500 recovery. Still have 2500 curse assist and CP. Spell damage is low, but, you know, once again, we're running dots. Atronach Mundus. I am not a vampire. Now, you can be a vampire and go stage 3. I am not, because honestly, I have a hard time sustaining the way it currently is. If you did go stage 3, you'd probably have to adjust your food, because I'm already running 3 recovery enchants, and, you know, my sustain is, it's honestly perfect the way it is right now, but 9% increased cost would be pretty rough. So stage 3 would make you tankier for sure. You know, you could go stage 3 in light potentially, and that might make you just as tanky, and the reduced cost for light could offset it. It's up to you. But yeah, that's how I have it set up. As far as our skills go on our back bar or on our front bar, this is our flex. I'm running Mortal Coil. You can run Hexproof. You can run the other Purge. You know, you go back and forth between the two. I'm pretty sure Jinx is running the Purge. I like Mortal Coil. Mortal Coil gives us stamina return as well, plus it's a nice heal. Jinx is an Argonian, and so the potion passive allows him to sustain stamina quite a bit better. I'm a Breton. I like Mortal Coil a little bit more for that reason, but neither one's a bad choice. You know, when you get in there and there's a lot of procs, it's really nice to have a Purge on your bar. I totally get it. Mortal Coil, you know, is fine for me, but I go back and forth between the two. Soul Splitting Trap, this is to proc our Oblivion's Foe. You can go with the single target ability if you want, because that'll give you some resource return, but I like the AoE capabilities. You know, sometimes I like to be able to just cast it once, you know, and know that it's going to hit everybody in a scrum, so when and if I go in with my ultimate, I have some AoE damage and, you know, I can pepper a bunch of people. Like I said, we don't have an execute, so we want to do as much pressure as possible and just focus the one person that, you know, can't deal with our dot pressure, which, you know, it isn't too many builds in the game, to be honest. Degeneration, you know, is going to give us our major sorcery buff. It's also a pretty nice damage over time effect. Fire Ring, like I said, you know, I'm running the range version. I actually like it quite a bit. I did run Pulsar. Pulsar works out really well. The other morph that you cast over your head, the 10% health reduction, as well as the dot from Black Rose Inferno works out very, very nicely. You go into Colossus, you hit that, and, you know, if you have a bunch of people jumping on you, you're killing a bunch of people. You know, like I've jumped in and I've bombed groups by myself. Colossus is an extremely powerful but expensive ultimate combined with Black Rose Inferno. It's good damage. It's good damage. But like I said, I like this because it pulls Nightblades out of stealth. You can operate it from range. You don't have to be in the scrum of things. You know, you can, you know, this is ranged, this is ranged, this is ranged, this is ranged. We can play at range, and when people get close, that's what the vateshrans Inferno dot is for. That's what our ultimate is for. We can do a bunch of stuff up close and personal, but we can operate at range as well, which is, you know, quite nice in PvP. Ravenous Goliath, it's a good ult. You gain a bunch of health, and it does a dot around you. You know, this is another damage over time effect. So when people jump on you, or when you jump into a pile, you get your dots going. You jump into this, and you just see health bars disappear. You know, that's all that you can say about it. If you don't do this, obviously you can go Vulnerability Ult, you can go Destruction Staff Ultimate, both those work. You could go Vampire Ultimate, that would work also. All of them are good, but yeah, this one's expensive. You don't get it a ton, but it's still worth it. It's still valuable. You know, you cast at range, you're doing a ton of damage, you're killing people. Finally, they decide to focus you go into Goliath, you kill them, and then you know, they respawn back and you rinse and repeat. So I do like Ravenous Goliath the best, but, you know, up to you. Back bar, Temporal Guard, you know, it's our get out of jail free card, as well as our minor protection bonus. You know, you can run Vulnerability Ult on the back bar here. You could run, you know, the Destro Ult if you wanted to. There's a few different things you can fit back here, but I like Temporal Guard the most. Spirit Guardian, 10% damage emit plus a little bit of healing. Honestly, I did Spirit Guardian and I did Spirit Mender. They're both good. Honestly, they are both good. You know, a lot of people look at Spirit Guardian, they're like, well, this is the way better option. The other one is half the duration, but double the heal with half the cost. So it's essentially like a Vigor tick, the other one is. And so it lasts every 8 seconds. It's a very, very powerful heal. This one just gives you more damage mitt. It's less buff inducive with this. And so since we're rotating so many dots, I do like Spirit Guardian for that reason. I did try the other one and I liked it. It just, you know, it felt very busy to me to run the other version, because it only lasted for 8 seconds. Summoner's Armor. You could use the one that pulled you in, but we're operating at range. We don't really want to pull people in with this type of build, but to each their own. I am not a vampire, so I'm running Race Against Time. If you do go vampire, I'd put Mistform here. Race Against Time and block is kind of unfortunate. It doesn't work out very well, but, you know, I can normally operate a range. By the time people get a little bit close, I can maneuver a little bit to line of sight away from snipers and stuff, and, you know, this kind of allows me to do that. So it also works well in more speed-based games. You know, it's also quite nice. You don't lose your magic or recovery with it. I need all the sustain you can get on this type of build. Resistant Flesh, great heal, really nice heal. Heals us pretty well in no CP, even though we're not running high spell damage. we're in heavy, so we get increased healing that way. An elemental drain, you know, this is going to give us our major breach a little bit more damage. Also procs our vateshrans staff. Pretty standard stuff. As far as passives go, like I said, you want all the normal passives. The only thing you want to do is you want to take out the trifocus, because you don't want your block to cost magicka. You want it to cost stamina. So I took out the trifocus for that reason. Just so you know, points in a heavy, undaunted, you want all that fun stuff. Yeah. Champion points don't matter. That's the build. So yeah. You're going to look at this and you're going to ask questions like, you know, why don't you have a CC? We don't need a CC, you know. Frankly, the CC that exists on Necromancer doesn't work with this type of build. You know, you don't want, I mean, it does, but what are you going to take off your bar? You know, like what dot are you going, or what ability are you going to take off your bar to where you can fit that? I really can't find one, you know. It would be a nice thing to have. Obviously, like some people, I think Jinx runs Flame Clench for the CC, but Flame Clench doesn't work very well with our ultimate. You know, we want people on top of us. We don't want to knock them out of range of the Colossus. And so, honestly, I'm not running a CC. You know, as long as you're running and you know how to run with your group in Battlegrounds and kind of PvP, like you're going to do so much dot pressure, you don't really need a CC. But if you feel like you need a CC, take off Force Pulse or Crushing Shock, put on shot or Flame Clench there, or you can put on the CC there. You're going to miss out on spammable damage, which, you know, I'd rather have the spammable damage. I'd rather have the ranged interrupt. You know, I'd rather have those sorts of things, but to each their own. But overall, we have a lot of dot pressure. You know, we all have we're very tanky because that's what Necromancer has. Necromancer, Magicka Necromancer by itself isn't a very good class. You know, it's in a pretty bad spot right now, but it's one of the better classes at running proc sets because of the tankiness that it has, because of the survivability that it has, and that combined with the strength of proc sets right now honestly makes Magicka Necromancer one of the stronger things you can run in no CP Battlegrounds, in my opinion, and a few other people's opinions, you know, in my Discord that have ran this build. So pretty surprising, you know. It's pretty surprising that Necromancer is honestly this powerful in a no CP environment with these types of sets. So that's the build, guys. You know, like I said, it's been around for a little bit. I had to wait for the light attack stuff to change. I already said it, but this is the Discord's build. You know, this isn't my build. This is what I'm running. This is what I'm enjoying. I did some adjustments. A bunch of people were doing different skills and abilities. This is the skill layout that I enjoy the most. And so you can make your own adjustments. As far as other options go, like I said, I don't even think you need Oblivion's Foe. You know, Oblivion's Foe is nice, but you don't need it. You know, you can run a non-proc set there. The main things that you really want for this build: Black Rose Inferno, vateshrans Froststaff. Those two weapons are amazing on Necro. They're literally amazing on everything, but they're amazing on Necro. And I think these are the two must-slot weapons that you need to have on a Necromancer in no CP. Everything else you can flex. You know, so if you wanted to run Desert Rose, or if you wanted to run a tankier set, you know, like, you know, Iron Blood or Daedric Trickery, or, you know, whatever defensive set you want on the body, you could do that. If you wanted to run a recovery set and, you know, you didn't want to be as cheesy as I am, you only want to run 2 slices of cheese, not 4 or 5 slices of cheese, you can do that. I just think Oblivion's Foe is fantastic for the pressure. Everybody else is running. I mean, I wouldn't gimp yourself in no CP. If you choose not to, you know, if you choose that you want to do stuff, you know, and you want to, you know, get kills without procs, that's how you do it. You know, you can definitely take off Oblivion's Foe. I was going to try it with Desert Rose next, but, you know, this setup is fantastic. I do have some PvP clips for you afterwards. If you guys want to check those out, I will go through some commentary and do all that. So if you guys like this video, you know, I would appreciate it if you help me out and hit the like button on the video. If you want to see more build videos in the future, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to try and come out with a few more builds for Markarth as well. Like I said, there's a link in the Discord if you want to come participate there. The only rule I have in the Discord is don't be a douchebag, guys. It's a pretty simple rule. You talk shit, you get kicked. That's it. So please come in. Like, if you're going to join the Discord, be cool. And if you're not going to be cool, you're going to get kicked. You know, that's all there is to it. Run whatever you want, you know, it doesn't bother me. But yeah, that's what the Discord's there for, is to discuss different builds and ideas and, you know, get help from other people in the community. And there's a lot of people in there that are willing to help out. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, please provide in the section below. I will do my best to answer it. Let's get to the footage. All right, guys. So I got a couple games of Battlegrounds here for you. Wanted to show you, how it kind of functions in other objective-based PvP like Chaos Ball, and then I wanted to, show you some Deathmatch PvP. This is the first match where I adjusted my enchants. I was running a spell damage enchant on one of my jewelry pieces, and Markarth was just a little bit too low for my liking. So that's where I went all recovery. That's why I added it in there. But yeah, you're gonna watch the sustain and you're gonna kind of watch the damage and kind of see how it functions. I'm gonna talk through my thoughts and how this plays. But yeah, Magicka Necromancer is very similar to classes like Magden, Mag DK. You're traditionally not gonna get like super high kill counts on a class like this because you don't have an execute. You're not a Mag Sork in the back. Free casting. Endless fury on people. You're not constantly in the back just spamming endless fury, and anytime somebody gets low you're popping them, and you're not a snipe spammer in the back desyncing health bars. So this is for when you get bored of those classes. When you get bored of desyncing health bars with overload and snipe, and you want to try something a little bit different, this is definitely a pretty fun option in my opinion. So yeah, right now we're just trying to kill a bunch of people. Obviously our team picked up the Chaos Ball here, so that kind of goes to basically just trying to dot everybody else down. The more people that are dead, the less people that can attack the Chaos Ball. And you can always play every objective match like Deathmatch if you choose. But no, we're actually attempting to play the objective here. We're just also trying to get kills and work out our rotation. So the gist is, from range, we're going to hit Soul Trap on people, and Soul Trap and Entropy because they're undodgeable, and it's going to take a bunch of damage, and we'll be able to range cast the BRP Pulsar on people for the dot as well. The only issue I have with the BRP Pulsar, operating it from range, is sometimes it'll double cast, and it's not something new to just the BRP stat or that one specific skill. That happens to me a lot with Shadow Image. It happens to me a lot with a few different skills and abilities. But it does happen with this one, and I want to kind of show that happens. It does feel clunky sometimes, but I mean that's kind of the state of the game at the moment. A lot of things feel a little bit clunky. So, but yeah, you're not going crazy. You're not going crazy if it's double casting. It's double casted for me a lot. I'm not attempting to double cast, but sometimes it just kind of happens. So we just have to acknowledge it and move on. So yeah, we're trying to help out here. We're basically trying to pick off opponents. This guy goes into a permafrost here, so we're going to block, cast, we're going to heal up a little bit. We're trying to get out of the permafrost, but we take a pretty nasty CC there. So now at this point, we're just going to heal up once again. Took a really nice sub assault, and so we're just going to back up around the corner, keep our hots going, dot some people up, try and hit some BRP destros on the people, just keep our dots rotating and keep our heal over times up. Now this guy's almost dead, so we're just going to hit him with some crushing shocks here, see if we can take him out. Once they get kind of close, then that's when you put the vateshrans destro on him. I want to say it's like a 12-meter radius. He's trying to get out of it, and while he's getting out of it, you hit him with a few crushing shocks, and he's kind of dead. So yeah, like I said, I'm not a vampire in this build. If I had it my way and I could play just team deathmatch all the time, I would probably go vampire. Vampire and Mistform, because the survivability with Mistform is just so much better than the survivability with Race Against Time. And I've talked about it on other builds in the past, but Race Against Time and then block casting is just not as nice as block casting and then using Mistform to line of sight around a corner, avoid some damage and then block cast more heals. That's just going to increase your survivability a lot more. You see a bunch of people here, so I'm going to go into clown form. And at this point, we're just going to try and take out some kills. We're going to dot some people up. Scoria is going off, and we're just putting out a lot of pressure here. So, this ultimate is very expensive, and so it's not like you can be in this a ton. You don't gain any ultimate while you're in it. So, it makes it even more expensive. It's 250 ultimate, but the fact that you're in it for 20 seconds and you're not building any ultimate while that's happening also is kind of problematic, because then you have to build 250 ultimate once you come out. So it takes longer than other more expensive ultimates, because you know, like I said, when you're killing people with an ultimate, you're gaining ultimate. You know, we all know this. So that's the problem with, you know, that's the balancing aspect of this powerful ultimate is, you know, you just don't have it a whole lot. So at this point, I'm trying to body block for our guy with the Chaos Ball, trying to give him some heals. Bunch of people piled up, so I'm going to hit my dots on him. I'm going to hit the BRP destro. You see the acid spray coming in from the side, so I'm going to maneuver around over to the other side here. And at this point, we're just going to kind of free cast on some people, trying to help our buddy out. Hit him with some Soul Trap, hit him with some BRP destro. Yeah, you see the Scoria going off. You see that it's just a lot of pressure. Now I have a meteor dropped on me. I got 2 red team players jumping on me, so we're just going to keep our dots rotating. We're just going to keep our buffs up. One of them left, so we're just going to try and take out this guy. He steps in kind of close. We're having our little fight, but you know, somebody summons the blade, so we're going to move out of the way here. And you see the dots ticking. It's just doing a lot of pressure to him, and there's not a whole lot he can do about it. I think the Mage's Wrath got him there, but if the Mage's Wrath wasn't there, I think we were going to get that kill anyways. So we're trying to kill this one green. 2 reds show up, so we're just going to back up a little bit, see if anybody focuses us. So we're just going to hit a couple BRP destros, rotate our dots. Once our dots are on everybody, then we hit some crushing shock, and you know, that's what we do. This is kind of embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie, I was not happy about this. You know, you kind of take advantage of being in clown form, and this is the first and only time so far that I've died while in this ultimate. I kind of thought if I went full offensive, you know, I was gonna get all these heals, it was gonna keep me alive. Everybody focused me, and I had a hard time weapon swapping and getting heals off and all these other sorts of things, and I got caught in 2 northerns and I died. I was just like, there's not much I can do. You know, I just dropped over dead, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I got to be a little bit more careful and, you know, be more aware of my health bar and not just go full offensive. So yeah, I died in clown form. Let's all have a good laugh at it. Yeah, we're just going to go over to the Chaos Ball, and we're going to see if we can pick off some more people and, you know, help our team out. We're in the lead right now, so we're just going to keep it going. The biggest thing is you want to keep your buffs up, you know, like any other class. You know, Mortal Coil is a very nice skill. You know, it's a big part of our stamina sustain. It allows us to dodge roll just a little bit. It also gives us a very nice heal over time, and it's free. The Mender is, you know, 300 stamina, magic recovery. It's very, very valuable. You see a bunch of people piled in here, so I'm hitting a lot of BRP destros just to try and get a little bit more burst, some dots on here. So at this point, I'm just backing up, popping some heals, keeping my dots up. This guy I hit him with a couple BRP destros. Now I'm gonna hit him with a Soul Trap and an Entropy, and now I'm gonna go in, hit with the Yelly Drain. He died from our teammate here, and now we just have this guy by himself. So once again, same thing. Entropy, Soul Trap, Crushing Shock. He takes a leap from our teammate. He's dead. And so now we're going to run off, and we're going to go try and help out the Chaos Ball. And it looks like we're going to win it. You know, we're 30 away here. And so pretty quick match. You know, the match didn't take a whole lot of time, you know, so the longer these matches take, the more damage you can build up. But yeah, you know, we're going to go about 9 minutes here, and I have just under 1 million damage, went 13-1. The one death was pretty freaking embarrassing. So yeah, should have been 13-0 if I was, you know, better on my joysticks, but it is what it is. And now we got some deathmatch. My favorite. Please give us just a deathmatch option. Yeah. Anyways, this will be fun. I wanted to highlight this one as well because I wanted to show you guys what happens with Nightblade. So this guy cloaks, and it's going to continually pull him out. It's fantastic. As you guys know, BG's is, you know, plagued by desyncing Nightblades that are just running snipe. And, you know, I can't remember the last time snipe just killed me because of its high damage. I feel like every time I die to snipe, it's because I'm getting my health bars just disappearing. You know, I can't react to it. All of a sudden I'm at full health, and I'm going to have one of those in this game, and I'll, you know, if you guys don't know what a desync is, I'll show it to you. But your health bar is at full health, and you don't know what's going to happen. See all the dot damage? I hit him with the BRP destro, and he's trying to cloak away, and it's constantly pulling him out of stealth, and he dies. So killed another Nightblade with the BRP destro, and yeah, that dot is freaking awesome. It does a lot of damage, and that type of utility is definitely worth running. So I don't have to run around, you know, the top of there. I can just cast on him from range. It pulls him out of stealth, and you know, then he's sad. So at this point, you see he's a Nightblade, so I casted on him twice. Get another kill there. And so now we're just gonna keep our buffs up once again. This guy kind of jumps in on the pile here, and so we're just gonna hit him with a couple dots. Teammates take him out. At this point, you know, we got a Nightblade jumping on us. We're gonna keep our heals up. You see the snipes coming in. So we're just gonna line of sight a little bit around this tower. See, I hit him with a destro on the back. He goes for the snipe, so I interrupt with a crushing shock. Another destro. You see constantly just ticking and pulling him out of stealth. So we're gonna come around the corner here, see if we can get a kill here. He's in the corner. He's trying to crouch and hide away. So we're just gonna hit him with another BRP destro. He's gonna try and run away. And he dies from the dots because, you know, thinks cloak can save him, and, you know, it keeps getting pulled out, and that's the spot where you need to pop vigor and then cloak. So this guy we're gonna hit with Ellie Drain, and we're gonna hit him with another BRP. He dies before he could cloak. Same with this guy. I'm gonna pull him out of stealth once again. Yeah, very, very effective against Nightblades. And you see, I think I want to say half this this lobby right now is Nightblade. So very, very effective against them so far. So when you see or know that they're a Nightblade, you know, you just want to change your rotation just a little bit. Maybe hit them with the BRP destro first, so you know that they have 9 seconds. Now I finally pop my ultimate. You know, we're 3 minutes into this game and I haven't done that yet. So we got a bunch of people piled in, and so now at this point we're just going to do a little bit of this. This guy's trying to snipe, so we're gonna hit with the BRP destro, just like I said. A little bit of soul trap, staying on top of him. We kill him with the dots. This guy's by himself. You know, our teammates do a really good job of running together here. They go after him, and so I see this Nightblade, and I figured I'd, you know, try and go get my own kill, but he managed to back off, and I don't have any detect pots on this character at this point. No CP, and I have a hard time running detect pots on a non-Argonian, you know, and no CP, because your stamina sustain is just not great. We get a nice Scoria proc with a little bit of gravity, so that guy dies. So we're just going to drop down. We're going to see if we can flank these guys from behind. You just saw a few run through here. Here they are, and they're all focusing this one purple. We got 3 greens and 1 purple, and so we get the kill there, or they get the kill. And so now at this point, we're just going to try and, you know, focus this guy. You see he's taking some damage here, and so we're just going to hit him with a couple crushing shocks. We get launched away, but we do get the kill there, and so now we're gonna go around the corner. You see we got a few more people. We're gonna hit a little Black Rose destro, rotate our dots, hit with a couple crushing shocks, and basically just gonna stay on top of this. And he does a really good job. IRS Scammer is a pretty good player, and so we're just we changed our target. Like, we could have chased him down, but he's a very good defensive player, and there are some easier targets, especially out here. And the name of the game for Deathmatch is killing a bunch of people, and there's the desync. Full health to 0. You're gonna see snipe show up on my recap after I die. That's how most of my snipe recaps go. So it is what it is. I hope at some point they can adjust it. I'm not even talking about nerfing snipe. I'm just talking about the desync. You know, like it's such a pain in the ass. It's such a pain in the ass. There's no way you can react to it. You know, there's nothing you can do. You just die. And there's nothing more annoying in the game than being desynced. So you see we get pulled in here, which is a perfect time to go clown form. You know, this build works very well at range, and if people want to pull us in, then we do this, and, you know, we do a shit ton of damage. Obviously, you know, if you guys don't like this ultimate, I don't see why, but yeah, if you don't like this ultimate, you can obviously go vulnerability ult, especially if you're coordinating in a group. You can go vulnerability ult. At this point, I try and push into all these guys, and I lose my clown form. You see they hit me with the high dot. That was my mistake. I was trying to really utilize my that was the second time I've really tried to utilize my clown form, and, you know, I lost it before I could really use it when I dropped down there, and, you know, I ended up paying for it. So yeah, took a really nasty toxic barrage in a 1v3, and, you know, that's going to be the end of that, which was, once again, you know, my mistake. That's something I didn't have to do. You see I got a guy Kurt rushing me in the back. We're just going to cast on this guy. He hits me with a really nice couple of D-swings, so we're just going to line of sight here, see if we can focus him here. We turn around, and it looks like he kind of went off to the side. So we're going to change and adjust our next target here. This guy's kind of dancing around the corners, so we're just going to ignore him, find another target, hit him with an alley drain, hit him with a couple of destros. You see we get fossilized. We got the greens coming in. So we're just going to dot this guy up. This is the Nightblade. Our teammate gets the kill there. We got another Nightblade here. And so you see the first thing I do is I'm going to hit him with the BRP destro. And so we're just going to make sure he's dotted up here. And now at this point, I know he can't stealth for a little bit. He's going to go with this ultimate. and I'm just going to block cast my heals, knowing that my dots are going to tick on them, and we get the kill there. And so now at this point, you see the DK jumping on people, and so we're just going to rotate our dots once again. We're going to hit a couple destros, and we're going to hit with a crushing shock, and we don't get the kill there, but that's okay. We got a few guys here, so we're just going to try and keep our teammates alive with a couple render fleshes, a couple BRP destros. This guy runs off to the side. Yeah, there's a sniper up top. I don't know if you guys saw that, but there's a sniper right there up top. And so I backed away instead of getting desynced again. I learned my lesson. So we're just going to come inside here. We're going to look for another fight away from the sniper free casting from their home spawn. So we're just going to be a little bit more careful here. And you see our teammates over here, so we're going to follow them. Obviously, you know, teammates are always a good thing. Looks like that guy disconnected, which once again is another huge issue in this game right now. You know, disconnect is a huge problem. Randomly, you just DC from the game. But yeah, you either play or you don't, and it's playable enough to where, you know, I deal with the disconnects, you know. So but yeah, this guy's got Crimson. You see he's got a ton of survivability. You know, Stam Sork with Crimson is very powerful. Obviously he hits a really nice undo here to get behind us, but you know, he can't really escape. Well, that was a bad thing to say. It was actually really tough for him to escape, but he managed to hit a really nice undo and go into the tower there, or go into the portal. So now you see I got two people here on me. This guy goes for the Toxic Barrage. I have my Clown form. I'm going to go into that. We're going to dot him up. And he's trying to line of sight here. And so I'm just going to hit him with a couple. I'm trying to hit him with a couple BRP destros. I'm really getting focused by this guy from behind. So now I got to go defensive. We're not going to die in Clown form again. We're not going to die in Clown form again. Can't have it. So we're just gonna hit this guy with Ellie Drain. You see he ports up top, so we're gonna keep our heals up. Instead of going up there, we're just gonna back up around the corner. You see I'm taking some snipes. I was actually able to respond to those, so we're just gonna dot this guy up, hit him with attempt to hit him with a BRP destro, attempt to pull him out of stealth here. Wasn't able to get it, and so now we have to change our tactics once again, go find another target. So we're gonna cast on this guy, and we're just going to try and, you know, get a couple more kills. But yeah, you see just a lot of dot pressure. People are going to ask, you know, why I'm not using Blast Bones. Blast Bones doesn't always land. It's slow to summon. I'd much rather just use Crushing Shock, you know. I don't think Blast Bones is a great skill. Honestly, I think Blast Bones is, Magic of Blast Bones specifically is pretty weak. It doesn't land very often. It doesn't hit very hard. I'd rather have the utility of Crushing Shock with the interrupt. So yeah, I should have mentioned that in the build, but that's why I'm running Crushing Shock. You know, you can interrupt snipe spammers. You can interrupt people dark dealing. You can interrupt people picking up sigils, you know, or picking up the relics. It just all adds up pretty well. So this guy's trying to snipe me here, so I'm just gonna hit him with a couple BRP destros. Got the dots on him. You see he's taking some damage, but now I'm taking some damage from this guy from behind. This would have been a good spot to have hexproof, but we got enough healing over time to where we can really heal through it. So we're just gonna dot this guy up, take a really nice fossilize. So we're just gonna dot him up once again. Make sure we have our dots and we got our full thing on them. Do a couple heavy attacks here just to kind of you know, sustain a little bit. You see we got the Nightblade out here. We're trying to take this guy out first. We're gonna take a decent amount of damage here. A lot of pressure, but we end up being okay. We go into Clown form once again. We get the kill there. And now we have Clown form. We're just trying to get our last kill. So we're just gonna dot this guy up, push in on him, a couple crushing shocks. It's the end of the match. 900k damage, 16-2, not bad. So yeah, that's the end of the video. If you guys have any questions or comments, please provide in the section below. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.